Newcastle as well, so I've got the blinds closed at the minute. Just obviously keep the sunlight from coming out into the room. So we're just going to be talking a little bit about, well, more or less about the lineups which have just been literally released 5 minutes ago. Let's have a look at see what I have. All right, everyone. How are you doing? All right. I'm just going to have a quick look at the lineups. I think it's the same side that Rafa Benitez has put out, which I said at the whiteboard last night. I said again, look, there's no point in. You can see obviously the bottom of the screen there, the lineups. But I think when Rafa put the lineups out, I think it makes sense because every man to a T was absolutely fantastic as well. You know, so I'm just going to stick my earphones in. So there we're going. Right. So let's shut that down, sorry, because I've got echo in my background. Right, yeah, so the same lineup, when you look at the Manchester United game, you've got to look at that and think, bloody hell, every man to each person was absolutely fantastic. You know, you talk about John Joe Shelby was absolutely mint. You talk about Mo Diarmi boss, Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba, what happened to Paul Pogba in the last game? Where was he? Mo Diarmi and John Joe Shelby literally bossed it. And I think, you know, going with the same lineup probably makes sense. I think you might have seen a slight change if Islam Slimani was fit. I think he would have probably started for Dwight Gale, but you know, obviously I've done a bit of research this week on Bournemouth. I've had Jamie on, who's a Bournemouth fan as well. I think, you know, they play such a high line up with their defence. I think it makes sense to go with Gale even if Slimani was fit, because if you're having someone who's at the halfway line holding the ball up, trying to get your midfield in, I think that's not going to work with the likes of Hosler and so on. So I think having someone like Gale who can stretch in behind, and that'll also help with the likes of Kennedy and Ritchie as well. I mean, Matt Ritchie, let's talk about him. He'll want to do really well today, going down to the Vitality against his old side. I'm sure he'll get a great reception. If you're going to put a bet on, you know, remember we've got partnership with BetSafe. What's the odds on Matt Ritchie grabbing a goal or getting the winner? I mean, it's written for him, isn't it? You look at Dubravka, who was absolutely fantastic in his debut as well. I think he'll be tested in a different kind today. I think if Bournemouth aren't winning a game, I am expecting them to probably go long later on in the game. I know they're very short passing, very pacey, very quick as well. Let's talk about Bournemouth's lineup dead quickly here. So in goal it was Begovic. I mean, no massive surprises there. You had Francis. Now we got that wrong, obviously. I thought it would be Adam Smith that'll go in there. So it'll be Francis at right back. And then Steve Cook, and obviously we know about him. He scored the winner at St James's Park. So watch out for him coming to set pieces. Nathan Ake, who's really promising. You look at Charlie Daniels on the left. Now Charlie Daniels, if you guys have been watching our video, is actually a Toon fan. So he'll want to do well. He'll try and bomb up on that wing. So expect Daniels to get further forward than what Francis will on the other side, on the right side. Now the Bournemouth official Twitter feeds have gone with Stanislas on the right, but little Fraser on the left. I think that'll be the other way around. I think Fraser predominantly plays on that right, and then Stanislas on the left. And again, we've got that totally wrong. I thought Jordan Ibe would start, and I also thought that it would be either Pugh or Stanislas over on the left. So they're all going like a flat back four midfield, number 10, which is Joshua King. Now he has struggled for goals this season. He's only got 3 in the league all the season, so he is struggling as well. And then Callum Wilson, who we've been heavily linked to as well. Just on the bench for Bournemouth as well, you've got Borach, Adam Smith, Simpson, Sermon, Pugh, Moset and Defoe. So they don't really have a massive strong bench. You'd probably say Sermon and Defoe will come on later on. Maybe you might say Adam Smith if they take off Francis later on. But from the bench, I don't think they'll look very strong. I know Jermaine Defoe has got a great record against us, so we've just got to be careful of that, because I think I read somewhere that he's got something like 8 goals against us, which is absolutely crackers. I will get on you know, the live chat in a moment, but I do want to talk to you a little bit more about the tune again as well. Obviously you can see it at the bottom of your screen as well, but you know, you look at that, you think Yedlin will bomb on from that right flank. And then I was saying to Fordy earlier on the week that the likes of Dubravka, Lejeune now need to start building relationships with others around them. So likes of Paul Dummett and Lejeune and Dubravka haven't really played many games together because they've obviously been injured. Obviously, in Dubravka's case, he's just recently signed. So it's important that they now start building formations and build a relationship between all the back 5, because I think that is the back 5 that Rafa Benitez is happy with and he wants to go with for the rest of the season. Dubravka, Yedlin, Lascelles, Lejeune, Dummett. I think those are the back 5 that he's happy with, and I don't think there'll be any changes unless we've got midweek games or an injury comes in. I think that'll be your settled back five going in. Manquillo hasn't had much of a look in, and I'm quietly pleased. I mean, I'm not going to jump on his back because I think it's wrong to get on players' backs constantly. There's got to be a certain extent where you've got to say, okay, you criticise, but you kind of keep criticising. You've got to build, break, build. And I think Manquillo stepping out, Newcastle look a little bit more assured. And that's probably the same with Kieran Clark as well. I know Clark was absolutely fantastic last season, but that defence for me is the back five, and I would stick with that going for the rest of the season. Now, looking at that midfield again, Mo Diarmi will touch upon bossed the game against Paul Pogba. John Joe Shelby as well, he was absolutely outstanding the first time I've ever given a 10 out of 10 rating. He was mint. He was unreal against Man United. He needs to step up. If he wants a place in the England World Cup, he needs to start doing that for the rest of the season, because even if he still does that and performs, he's got to have a good end of the season and keep that momentum going as well. Matt Ritchie's obviously got the goal against Man United. He'll be buzzing for this game. There's no shadow of doubt about that. And then on the left, I think Kennedy needs a better performance. I said this earlier on the week that against Man United, he was okay, but we didn't see enough of him. So if we can get the ball more to Kennedy. Perez, I think, he has his critics. He's only got one or two goals. Well, he's got 4 in total, but 2 in the league, isn't it? 2 in the cup. However, I think Perez will do a lot of the off-ball. He'll be chasing the likes of Cook and who else is playing in centre midfield. I've totally forgotten now of Bournemouth, but he'll be doing a lot of the running off the ball. And then he obviously got Dwight Gill to try and stretch the defence as well. Now on the bench for Newcastle, you've got Darlow, Manquillo, Clark, Hayden, Merino, Atsu and Hoslu. So you're probably looking at maybe Mikel Merino, Atsu, Hoslu to try and get you something from the game later on. If he wants to be assured and go a bit defensively, if we've got a lead, you've got the likes of Clark and Hayden to bring on. If you want to go to a flat back 5 or play the wing backs, or if you want to put Hayden in, have an extra body sitting there in midfield. Sorry, I've got the hiccups. So that is the team news. How the game will go, I think I've gone for a 1-1 draw. I think Bournemouth will heavily dominate the game. I think they'll dominate. When I say dominate the game, I mean in terms of possession. I think Newcastle have increased the amount of shots probably in the last 10 to 15 games, because we weren't doing many, to be fair. But I think they'll dominate possession. I think we'll play on the counter. I think we'll sit and we'll try and get on, especially on the wings in particular. I think Diarmi will sit there, do your dirty work. Shelby will be asked to pick up the ball and try and spray it. And I think Bournemouth will probably want to close them down really tight. And then it's up to our wingers. You're probably asking Yedlin, you want to class yourself as a winger in this game to get forward. And then Matt Ritchie maybe to come in a little bit. Kennedy, get him on the ball. Perez do some running, and Gale stretching the defence. I think that's how I think we'll set up. Let's jump in the comments box as well. There is a few to try and whack through. And then we'll wrap up, I guess. I'll be back also. I'll be doing like a live stream like this as well. Probably about 5-10 minutes after the game. So jump back later on after the game as well. Okay then, right, let's jump into it. So Minty's gone for 2-1 Newcastle win. Washington Machine Killers went for 3-2 Newcastle. Max Glister 3-0 Newcastle. Maximus 97 1-0. Crinkle Fox, hiya mate, you alright? Shea Underwood, great team, wouldn't change a thing. Yeah, I mean the team against Man United was absolutely unreal. Crinkle Fox is 1-0. Jack Boy 88 1-0 Toon. Jack Chater 2-1 Toon. I'm surprised Murphy was dropped completely. It's surprising Jacob Murphy, because it's his birthday the day now, and there's no Jacob Murphy at all. And the Toon have obviously tweeted out that a happy birthday to him, and he's nowhere to be seen. So if he doesn't make the match day 18, I mean, he was on form at the start of the year. So El Luis, you've actually picked up a great point there, which is a little bit surprising. And it's his birthday, and you want to be up for it. I don't know, maybe it's an injury that we don't know about. I haven't checked any local media reports. YT Vlogs 2-0 Newcastle. Highlight what you thought of Merino not getting a game. I think it's right, because Shelby and Diarmi are absolutely mint. I think Mikel Merino's just going to have to make do. I think Merino's probably the better baller than what Diarmi is, but you can't drop more Diarmi at the minute. 3-1 Toon, says Lewis York. Max Lister 3-4-3 for Bournemouth. Potentially, but where are you going to put... it's a good shout. It could be that, Max. 9-0 giveaway. Let's have a look. What happened to Merino's on the bench again? Let's have a look. What else is just saying? 4-4-1-1. Yeah, that's what Bournemouth are going with. I think 2-1 Newcastle says Jake. Alan Hudson 1-1. A lot of people saying hi at each other. Pistol Pete 2-1. I am champion of you, Ari. Pete. Who will score, Lee? Ooh. You know what? I've already put my bet on, but if I didn't, I would have went for Matt Ritchie just because of the odds. But I'll probably can't Gale. I'm going to go with Dwight Gale to get one. But I'm going with 1-1 draw. That's what I think anyways. Movement EU says 3-1 to 2. Now, these are all pretty confident, like, aren't you? Lee Howarth 1-1, maybe a 2-1 win perhaps. Liam 2-0 win. 2-1 Pirate Dog. Do you think someone will score a hat-trick for us this season? Says Stevens, I think that's pronounced as. It also says Toon. A hat-trick. Nah, I don't think we'll score enough goals because Rafa's very compact, very defensive as well. Danny Butler says a 1-1 draw, he thinks as well. So, yeah, these all seem very confident. Is that because of the Man United result? And that's because, you know, shows the NUFC's gone for a 2-1 win. Is that because we're on a great little run? I mean, the run at the moment is 1 defeat in 7 at the minute. And if we can get I think it's important that we try and get a point from this game and that keep that run running, because I think it's Liverpool next, isn't it? Which is going to be difficult at Anfield. Again, that's probably a bonus game, but Rafa's already turned around and said that every game is a cup game now, and we'll have to make do. Hopefully, if Slimani's out for 2 weeks, that would mean he's not going to make the Liverpool game either. Shelby to score the winner from 30 yards. Neil Barris 1-0, yeah. 4-0 Middlesbrough. Are Middlesbrough winning 4-0 or they're not kicked off? I don't know, sorry. I don't really check up until, if I'm being brutally honest. Positivity, yeah, Pirate Dog as well. Right, okay, so that's been a quick, brief video for you. I'll be back, like I said, about 5-10 minutes after full time. I'm not at the game, obviously. We've got one of the backroom team who are down there as well, to hopefully, fingers crossed, they get some recorded footage for us at the Vitality as well. Not kicked off the Middlesbrough game, alright, okay. So I'll be back about 5-10 minutes to join us, and we'll obviously interact. It'll probably be a bit longer than this stream as well. But that's been it. Thank you very much for watching Newcastle Fans TV, and hopefully we'll get through.